That's no moon. It's a space station.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today we are joined by Leah Ray. She joined us a month or two ago talking about the demonic takeover of the entertainment industry in her Akashic Record sessions, and it was one of our best episodes. It was mind-blowing information, and we're super excited to have her back for part two. And we're going to be getting into the gender agenda and the entity takeover of the transgender agenda, right? And what's actually happening with that. And it's a lot deeper and far more disturbing than people realize. And in particular, Leah's work, her line of work, allows her to be one-on-one with some of these people and experience what they're going through and see the types of entities that are attached to them and what's really going on here, and kind of see the bigger picture and shed some light on that. And we're very excited to have you back, Leah. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thank you, gentlemen, for having me again. I've been
Yeah.
really blessed just because thank you for sharing my work on your platform because I've been able to meet amazing souls thanks to you both. So I have to say thank you. I'm honored and I'm grateful to be back.
Yeah.
Great to have you back. It's an honor. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know
It's
you've
amazing.
a lot of our audience has have been booking sessions with you since the last episode, and that's been going really great and the feedback's been amazing from both sides, from you and the people that I know who have had sessions with you. So anybody out there who's looking for an amazing Akashic record reading, you can go to leahraylight.com and book a session with her there. I highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough, actually. Um, but let's get into why we're here today. So I guess, do you want to let our audience know? So you took on a new job to, pay off some debt, whatever the reason is, that doesn't matter. But with this new job, you entered into a whole new territory of what's happening on this planet. And it's something that you really didn't expect, but obviously you're there for a reason. So do you want to let our audience know what that is and what that's been like for you?
Yeah. So I thought I could jump into this energy, and it was familiar because I always worked in upscale spa settings where a lot of treatments would happen and there were luxury treatments for the most part. So I said, let me dive in quickly and I'll dive out. But while I've been in this new position, I'm experiencing like one-on-one experiences versus like passing in the grocery store or random, outside or in an event or like anything where I can kind of bump shoulders, but I don't have to like really talk to anyone. And now I'm engaging in a level where I actually have to talk. I actually have to sell, which is interesting. Um, and it's some of it's been heartbreaking, some of it's been fascinating because I feel like I'm back diving deep into this realm where I don't have to necessarily touch anyone like where I was in the spa world. I'd have to touch people. Um, but this time I'm just like in close contact and I am really feeling and experiencing like a kind of like all these different senses that it's been overwhelming, but it's been fascinating at the same time. So I was trying to, just I wanted to share because, Tyler, you reached out and I'm thankful that I can talk to you too about some of the happenings that I've experienced during the day. So, because sometimes it's confusing on my end. I want to make sure for someone who is sensitive, I can kind of bounce ideas off of. So I thank you for allowing me that with you because I can't always talk about this with everyone. I have a few beautiful souls that I can. So I'm just grateful that I can talk to you about some of it.
Of course.
Yeah,
So
of course.
can we be specific about what you do? That would help people understand why you're seeing what you're seeing. And then you don't have to filter yourself unless you want to, but I
Okay.
think the more details the better because it really paints a picture for us. Whatever you're comfortable with sharing.
Yeah. Well, so it's packages of like laser hair removal. So some people experience it, they purchase it because They have medical issues where, it's really uncomfortable to either shave or wax, or their medical issues. And then it's interesting because now there's a whole transgender movement that's been showing up. And so this is fairly new to me in terms of like one-on-one, where I'm actually having to sell and being in a room, an enclosed room with people for more than an hour. So it's been interesting. I don't have to touch anyone like I did in the massage world or when I was doing facials, but it is enough where I can feel and sense again, where I didn't think I'd be back here, but I am. So it's all good. I mean, like in that realm of like having to be in a closed room, like with the door closed type.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Right. Right.
I remember you telling me specifically while you were training for this, they were showing you new anatomy models of the human anatomy because they're including these transgender anatomies, right? And that was really interesting to me. So, I mean, that just shows you how far they're taking this.
Oh my gosh. It's like, and Aaron, I don't know if he mentioned this to you, but it's really weird. Like they will show a body that doesn't have like a male or female anatomy. It's just kind of like neutral.
hmm
And then I'm supposed to be, I guess, sharing this uh odd it's like all color coordinated, and it's like kind of like a stick figure, but you can tell, there's usually one that's female and there's one that's male, and then there's this kind of neutral one that you don't really, it feels like like a Ken doll or something. It's different. And so anyway, they're giving me this to show these people that are, I guess, gender fluid
Or
or
non-binary or whatever.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a whole new language they were trying to teach us during the sales pitch. And I started to get, well, I guess, yeah, you can remind me, Tyler. I don't remember, but I think I was getting really angry or just annoyed, just upset that this is happening, basically.
Right. So I mean, what types of things were you seeing whenever when you entered into this world, right? When these people started coming in, you had to start selling them these packages. What kind of things did you notice?
Well, and that was the fascinating part because um, I wasn't expecting to have so many people show up that were transitioning or non-binary. How do you say it? Non-binary, binary.
hmm
Yeah.
Non-binary.
Thank you. So basically because I have to be in front of the entranceway where people are had to greet people for the most part, and I'm usually on a computer. And so I tend to have my head looking into the computer, looking kind of down, trying to do work. And then so I don't look up all the time because I can't tell who's coming through the door. But I was starting to get this overwhelming feeling of randomness. So sometimes, it's happy people showing up and they're excited. Sometimes I'm getting people that are like super frustrated after being in traffic. And then with what I've noticed with the people that are transitioning, I get this feeling of most of them. I hate my body. I loathe myself. Just this horrible energy of sadness, despair, confusion. Like some of them have walked in and a lot of them are hiding behind masks still. And um, it's this some of them are just slunched over and they're kind of closed in body wise. And that's when I look up because I feel this wave of emotion that shows up that it's like, I hate myself. I loathe myself. And my heart breaks for one. And then I look up and then I get confused because I can't tell at first what's going on, but who this is. And then I've noticed, and this is the sad part, a lot of those that feel the deepest loathing, self-loathing is apparently the male that's transitioning or trying to transition. And some of them haven't gone through surgery yet and some have. And I've only seen one that actually was very confident with themselves, which apparently it was a male that um, genetically mutilated himself, and he was. And again, I'm sorry if I'm being vulgar or like sharing too much, but just to give you, I guess, a picture of what I'm seeing. Oh gosh, and I just feel so strange, I guess, talking about it because I'm still kind of feeling all the emotions that I have been in. Kind of, it's like this petri dish of like emotions that show up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's like this person that mutilated himself is showing, and very proudly showing with tight pants, a camel toe. I mean,
Oh, wow.
so it's like, and it's just very different. It's very unique. I'm trying to be the observer. I just don't want, because I'm such an empath, I don't want to absorb this energy, but that's what I've been absorbing it. So that's why I'm learning how to try not to, because I don't want to take the sadness home. I don't want to take the confusion. I cry. A lot of times I would leave crying because I just felt heartbroken that and then the other day, I think I called you or text you, Tyler, that I was angry because I felt these people are being used, and they're being used and abused and harmed in a way that is it goes beyond. It's spiritually harmed, it's physically harmed, there's so many things
Yeah.
that are happening. Again, this is apparently, people say yes, this is their free will, you shouldn't be getting so um emotional over it, but I haven't learned that yet.
Well, what do you mean being used like for financial gain? These corporations are trying to just sell things to them and sell surgeries and laser hair
Oh,
removal just to, they just see it as a business. They don't care what's happening to the people, right?
I mean, that's how because I still try to reach out in a heart connection where I ask questions like, have you gone through surgery yet? Or do you have do you have anyone that supports you? And it's just sad because, a lot of people I feel a lot of them feel lost. I feel that they're confused. When I get angry that I feel doctors are taking advantage of these people, corporations, um, pharmaceuticals they're going to now be forever dependent on who knows what, and we don't know what the long-term effect is because we haven't had 20 years from. I could be wrong. I haven't seen 20 years of research with all these hormonal blockers and who knows what. So I guess I get very angry that I don't think these people are understanding the depth of where the journey they're about to go on or continue on. They're losing their family members because some of the families abandon them. There's so many layers. And I
Yeah.
understand in some communities, yes, they embrace. I had, a lot of gay friends in Florida where their families denounced them or threw them away. So then they embraced the gay community a lot more because it was like this deeper connection. So I just feel like, because I asked this one person the other day, like, do you have any friends that are going through this? Because I guess he was a drag performer. And he said, no, only one other performer or something. It didn't seem like there was this strong community or I don't know. It just didn't seem like he was supported in a way. It was almost like this fake, false pretense. But again, that's when I don't, um, seeing a lot of entities.
Yeah, so let's talk about the entities. So when these people walk through the door and you get that feeling, is there the feeling of an entity there and their souls like in the back seat, kind of like you explained with the people who were jabbed?
Oh, yeah. I mean, multiple entities with a few of them I felt. One would just pass me, and I felt there were three. And that's when I didn't want to look. And I'm very sensitive. Apparently, other people I've spoken to who are sensitive, because I can smell them. And I was like, like, that's why being in a room with a closed door is very difficult to me, because I can smell them. Like, I can smell the entity. I can smell this, I don't know, whatever is in these energies. It's harmful to me. And because like, I think I told you the other day that I wanted to throw up. I can't. It's very difficult energetically, but also physically. It's just it's a whole experience that in the club world I could drink, and that wouldn't help me in any way, shape, or form. But the drinking, I thought, could take away smells in a weird way. But again, of course, that was it didn't help me. It was more debilitating. But at the point, it was almost like a numb temporarily. So, like, thankfully, it's just I just feel heartbroken. I feel angry. I have so many mixed emotions, but like, essential oils aren't doing it. Like, there's certain, used to have I have high vibrating essential oils that I could spray to kind of protect me and stuff. And that's not doing the trick. Like, there's just, it's really different. And it's hard to talk to about this to anyone that doesn't get this. Like, it's a different world.
So, yeah. So whenever these people, or whenever you're experiencing these entities on these people, is it only the people who are transitioning? I mean, is it like what I'm trying to say is every person that's transitioning carrying entities? Does that seem to be the main driving force behind their decision?
Well, that's what I've been trying to check, because I would like to be a kind of like a scientist about this stuff. That's what I've noticed, that there's a main driving that's literally either taken over and kind of in charge, or it's like almost a battle if they haven't transitioned yet or had the gender mutil. Oh my God, I can't even say it because it's so heartbreaking to me. They haven't mutilated their private areas yet. I think I've tried to grasp. I tried to see if who's running, who's in the driver's seat, and I only saw, I haven't seen one yet that where it's the soul is still in control. Because I do see people who have been vaxxed and they have entities as well. So, but that's like normal for me. Like, that's been a norm for the past few years. And so, and I can smell them too in a way, but this is a whole different playing field. Like, this is a wave coming through the door. It was almost like, maybe it's similar to when people were getting jabbed and they like literally left, and you could sense them the next 2-3 days. I could smell them too, but this is more of a hating of themselves that is more, it's just disturbing on a whole other level, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is a symptom of the spiritual war, like, and the crazy thing is the dark, false matrix that we live in is set up to, it's like pushing all of this stuff, right? So
yeah,
it's every institution. So it starts now, they want to get the kids as young as possible programmed.
yeah.
And so it starts in school, elementary school,
Mhm.
and it's now in kids shows. It's now everywhere you look, there's, these agendas getting pushed in your face. Where I live here, there's rainbow every crosswalk is painted a rainbow. There's rainbow flags everywhere. There's BLM signs everywhere,
Well,
it's like, these are all programs that are getting implanted into people by the system. And then they're carrying out the agendas for the people that are, at the top of the pyramid here, pushing these things, and they don't even realize it. And then there's these entities that are attaching to people through things like the jab, through things like just playing on people's already wounds and traumas and programming that they get really young. And then instead of like healing, they're getting these programs and these entities attaching to them that are causing them to want to do things like transition their gender, cut off their genitals, mutilate themselves, all these horrible things. And then, like you said, they have this self-loathing. Well, there you go. Like, it's not, these aren't happy, healthy people that are doing these things for the most part. Maybe there's a very, very small minority that are. Maybe they're authentically, that's
Right.
great. If this is coming from an authentic, healthy place, more power to you. That's fantastic. The problem is, and that I see, is that the vast majority is not coming from a healthy place, but it's not just like, it's one thing that people uh are doing these things on their own, but this is systematic. This is the matrix, like, orchestrating
Yeah,
stuff and pushing it.
it's all manipulated. It's
It's
orchestrated. Yeah.
and it's entities, that are attached to the people in the matrix, and then they're pushing these things, and then people are getting these entity attachments. And at a certain point, it's like their soul, like Tyler, like you said, is in the back seat, and these entities are actually like running their body because they're so they have so much pain, so much unhealed stuff, so much self-loathing. They're at such a low vibrational place that the entities that vibrate at that lower level are like feeding off of all that energy. That's their food source, and they've
Right.
completely taken over the person. And it's just like this downward spiral until the
Right.
person can finally get help and heal.
Right.
Well, and
It's heartbreaking to see. Like you said, it's horrible. Yeah.
maybe that's why I get so, like, I cry a lot now. I just cry a
Yeah.
lot after work to release, but I think it was because I had entities on me before where I had a sense of like self-loathing, and I had a sense of like it was weird because I used to ask, Are these my thoughts?" Like, I never thought I could go low in a vibration where these thoughts would just show up. Like, and I remember I just felt like I didn't like anything about me, like zero. Um and
Hmm.
I would just constantly self-criticize, and it was when I had a huge entity on me that thankfully was cleared, but it took me many years of hanging out with this thing, and that's too, like, in the nightclub world, only certain people were drawn to me, and, it was a weird thing where once that thing was cleared, no longer were these people drawn to me, but it was, I'm sure it was their entities too, or drawn to my, who knows, the weird energies of the entities. But the point is it wasn't until I started doing ayahuasca and clearing this deep loathing, self-loathing, that I actually was like, "Oh my God, I am a child of God. I came from the creator. Like, I'm part of the
Yeah.
creator. The creator created me. I have the creator's DNA inside of me." And I literally like looked at my hands and I was like, "Oh, these hands are given to me by God." Like, I was so grateful and blessed. And that's, I think, why I really mourn for these people, because I don't know, maybe this is their journey and maybe they will come out, but I think because they are physically harming themselves to such a deep level,
Mhm.
I'm sad for them because it took me most of my life to get out of that. And so, and I was programmed completely. Like, I had a self-deprecating, self-destructive program that I had to clear out of my head. And I remember I'm like, this is a program a lot of girls get, and a lot of guys too, but where I lived, a lot of girls were getting that energy of like, it was such a sickness. And when it
Right.
cleared off of me, that's why now I feel so sad, I think, because I'm like, I was there once, or I was not maybe that low, but I was low, but
Mhm.
they're going in a deep dark place that I don't know. I mean, hopefully they can return, but it's
You
just
want
Well,
sad.
but imagine if when you were a little girl getting put on hormone blockers because you were at a low place and you thought you wanted to be a boy for a couple months, and then the system is like not only like willing to do that, they're actually like pushing that. They're actually like implanting those thoughts in the first place, and then the second you say anything, they're like, yes, let's do it. And then they're putting kids like literally 13 and under on hormone blockers and having them mutilate their bodies. And then a couple of years later, they snap out of that phase, and then they've ruined their entire lives
do
Yeah.
you
at that age.
And
Their entire lives ruined.
these doctors and these pharmaceuticals, they don't care. You are just
No, they don't.
giving them their second or third home in the Hamptons or wherever.
Mhm.
And that's when I get into this mama bear energy of you're gonna harm the innocent, the baby, the children of God. Like that's when I get
Yeah.
very to the point where, yeah, I want to go and protest and I want to say these things, or I want to tell the person across the table, please, like, ask, find God or find your creator. And that's when I realized too, I don't, God bless them, but I don't think they have their demeanor, their colors they choose, even the phone symbolism on their phone. They're already in. I see it as they're just one part of Satan's crew at this point, because they literally they dress satanic. They have satanic symbols. Like it's just like the kids that are getting jabbed. They're following only the stars that are given the devil symbols, and they're doing all this
Right.
stuff, and they don't
Yeah.
even know that they're taken. They don't even know they're
They don't-
sold.
No.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason that it saddens you, because you understand that this isn't an attack on the soul. This is far beyond just a genital mutilation, right? I mean, that's the byproduct of something much larger. But you mentioned to me at one point that you were actually coached to make decisions for them, because they
Oh
said that
yeah,
transsexual people can't make decisions on their own. This was something that they
yes.
had understood through their study. Can you explain that?
Well, yeah, because like it's a sales job, and like I have to perform at a certain level, um, and again, it's just like again heartbreaking because being told, oh, these people can't make their own decisions. You have to make it for them. Because I stayed late one day, like by, I don't know, almost a half hour, because this person couldn't decide. And this person had lost, like, the parents didn't agree with his decisions. And he just was lost. And he couldn't decide to go through with getting this done. And the way my superiors say, oh, well, you have to tell them they're going to start today and they're going to go through, and this is an expensive service. This is not, a lot of them expect it to be free, which is another weird thing, because I guess they're getting free surgery. So they're getting free everything, except this is a really, I think it's expensive. It's enough if you want a full body, it's enough. You could purchase a car. Like that's how expensive it is. So they're pressuring the salespeople to make the decision for these people. So no, these people are being attacked at all angles. They're getting attacked by the doctors to say, "Oh, we'll give this to you for free," and "Oh, you can give your hormone supplements for free," and "Oh, you." And then they want this service for free. So when they actually have to pay for it, that's when they actually have a hesitation. So I was instructed to make the decision for them. And I'm like, I am not going to, I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
I am, that's when I get angry and get really sad at the same time, because I'm like, these poor people, that's when I got really pissed that day, I think, Tyler, when I was like, they are getting it at all angles and they are just being used and abused and mutilated all at the same time.
And that's such
Yeah.
a crazy thing that it's all being offered for free. And
Yes.
so that helps them
Right.
make their decision. Like you said, if they had to pay for it, like if they're hesitant, then they think twice about it. But whenever it's like free, you're like, oh, okay, well, let's just do this, you know?
You
Yeah.
can tell with the agendas that the system really just look at what they offer for free. Like,
Right. Yeah.
look at what they're pushing for free. Nothing. That means you are the product when something is
Yes.
offered for free. That means
Forever.
they want you to use you for an agenda.
So
Yeah.
Full stop. That's it.
do you
Yeah.
see anyone who's ever did that regrets doing it? Have you come across that? Do people have a change of heart, change their mind, anything along those lines?
Well, thankfully, because thank God I'm not doing the treatment. Thank God. Like I haven't come across that yet. I have come across people that are shy and it looked like they're scared and they're fearful and they're hiding behind a piece of cloth on their face. They're hiding who they are. Like they hide in even the room where I'm trying to sell this to them, and I can't even see their face. Like, and I mean, just because to me, this is all horrible. Because again, like, I just think we're in a really fascinating time, and people are still hiding behind a mask that is
Well,
known not to work, and it harms you more than it does good.
yeah,
Exactly.
and going back to what you said, like if you were to suggest something to them, like finding God or whatever the case is, like they wouldn't hear you because there's something working through them. And I actually experienced this the other day with somebody who was telling me about some of their body pain and stuff, and I was trying to introduce them to the idea of energy healing, Reiki, and simple things like acupuncture and just alternative methods, right? And
Mhm.
I could tell they literally did not hear me. They
Mhm.
Yeah.
literally didn't hear me, and it's like I was talking to them, but they just shut down whenever
Yeah.
I introduced something outside of the prescribed,
Mhm.
modality. So it's
Programming.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it was wild. I was like, holy shit, they didn't hear me. Like I just gave them like 5 different amazing things to try that I know could help them, and
Yeah.
just weren't having it. And so
Because it doesn't vibrate. It's like such a different frequency. Like, it's like someone
Right.
that eats sprouts, like live sprouts all day. They're vibing. They're like alive. They're eating live food. Like, they're high frequency, and you're just like, whoa, what is, versus someone that's eating, who knows, not even fat. I mean, fast food isn't even food in
Yeah.
my
right.
world. It's
Processed
it's
everything,
dead. It's
tomatoes. Yeah.
death. It's just death. And so, like, it's like, yeah, you probably it probably just went right through their,
Mhm.
who knows? It didn't even probably register at all in their brain.
So
Right.
I'm going to ask a question that everybody wants to know. Why are you doing this? Why are you there? Or do you think on a soul level like you're supposed to be experiencing this? Because I feel like you are, and there's something in this. We're always where we're supposed to be, I believe. And
Yeah.
have you gotten any insight as to why you ended up in this position?
Well, good question. I mean, I've been asking myself that almost every day. No, but I had to I had a beautiful opportunity to spend time with my dad before he passed. And it was the most amazing year and a half of my life because uh, he just is an amazing soul. But I got to hang around his energy like on a daily basis. And just because he loved watching birds, and I got to, like, we just did really lovely, simple things. And I got I was blessed to be able to kind of disappear from the whole world temporarily. Like, I could read about stuff that was going on. I could mourn and get heartbroken and pray. And I was able to do a lot more Akashic readings because I had time, because my dad wasn't, he needed to sleep a lot. And so I was able to dive deeper into the Akashic realm, which allowed me to kind of escape from this whatever we're experiencing right now, and in a way where it just allowed me to stay in a higher frequency, um which I'm so grateful for. And so, but part of me, I always felt like, gosh, why what am I doing? Like, I need to, there's a spiritual war happening. Like, what can I do to help? Why am I so I guess I was afraid to dive deep back into the, let's say, I call it the 3D world, where I have to do sales and stuff. So I think I challenged myself, but two, I wanted to, I'm the type of person that I need to feel things, experiencing things, and do hands-on experiences before I learn something. So, and I'm the type that I call it a spiritual 2x4, hit over the head multiple times before I learn my lesson. But I'm the type where I go hands-on first, and I dive in, and then I research after, because I want to see if anyone else experiences the stuff but I don't want this to be already in my head before I dive in, because I'm afraid that, oh, that's just my subconscious. It was already planted there. So when I dive in, I kind of try to go deep so I can feel it, see it, experience it, and then get out. So I think I wanted to really go back into this 3D realm and see what this is all about. But I also had to, because I've been sad lately and trying to clear my stuff. I had to work with other healers because I wasn't able to guard myself the way I thought I could. So I'm learning new ways of protecting myself. I had thank thank you, Tyler, for helping share.
Laura
Uh,
Vantine.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
Oh gosh, like that was so needed.
You had a few, just in case people didn't hear me, that was Laura Vantine, and you had a few sessions with her.
Yeah, I had two. I've had two so far, and they were close together. Um, because too, like I have a family member that has entities, and this has been my whole life, you know. So this is near and dear to me, meaning I'm not just talking from a distance and not diving in. I need, in order to be speaking from my truth and my heart, I actually do feel I need to participate. So I do feel I'm there to learn and hopefully grow spiritually. I'm trying to learn new techniques to protect myself, but also to protect my clients who, um, with Laura, we were able to do so much beautiful work, and it involved some of my clients' loved ones that had already passed. And so it was a blessing because I don't technically remember a lot of the sessions, but when I was working with Laura, whoa, a lot of these clients' loved ones showed up and even spirits of animals. And so I feel I'm diving deep because I need to learn and grow, but also I have to do my own work and I have to do my own family lineage work. Like I'm trying to work on my family lineage, and it deals with, you know, some of the dark stuff that I'm seeing on these people that I'm meeting every day. And also I'm working with a coworker that um she was not in a good place when I showed up because she wasn't being honored or valued, and she wasn't being appreciated. And she's sensitive like me. I don't know how deep, but she's definitely sensitive in a way where we share stuff that I didn't think I could share with someone in that 3D realm. And so I feel we've been able to help uplift each other in a beautiful way because she's now expanding and blossoming in such a great it's a great time to see her shine in a unique way when she was really in a low place, because the company is just a different company and it doesn't always honor people, you know, the way in the heart space, the way that I need to be honored, she needs to be honored in that space. And even our clients, the clients that show up, adore her because she cares deeply with her heart. So, and that's different with sales. Not everybody works in that realm. And so been a great learning experience, but I do feel I'm there for a reason and I'm still learning why. You might, as an observer, know more than me because I get to tell you stuff that I haven't been experiencing.
Well, I think you nailed it. I think that was a beautiful explanation and it makes perfect sense to me. And I think you kind of already figured it out. And I would add to that the fact that you're here on our show sharing this information, shedding light on what's happening. Not everyone's in the thick of it like you are, and not everyone understands the severity of the situation. We see the memes, we see the social media posts, we're just scrolling through, right? But we're just scrolling through. We're not in it, we're not living it. So when you're living it and then now you're coming forward and sharing from the heart and letting our audience know and whoever else listens to this what's going on out there, I think that's part of the reason you're doing this as well. Just to, help expose and shed light on this and ultimately it's like the darkness surfacing and everything's being purged and I think it will have an amazing ripple effect just by you being here today. So I think that's another layer.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that because, like, I don't. I used to love to be hiding, like in a hermit shell. I just used to love hiding from the world and going on my little nature walks and all that. But now I'm realizing, gosh, you two are really strong and brave to always share and to have a platform. So I'm like, okay, my little part, whatever little part I'm doing, I'm really grateful for. And so I thank you for just allowing me time to share because again, like I have so many beautiful, I have a few beautiful souls I can share this stuff with, and I'm so grateful for them. But it's one of those things I can't talk about this to many people. So
Right.
thank you for allowing me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Seriously, like it's an amazing thing what you're doing. So
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up about it. And you'll figure it out every day. Something's going to be revealed for all of us, and in everything that we do every day. If we're aligning ourselves to learn and experience and grow, then that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's not always going to be fun. Not
Yeah.
and most of the time, it's not fun. You know, otherwise, we're just like hiding, like you said, and we can. It's so easy to go separate yourself and live off grid or live in a cave somewhere and not deal with any of this stuff. But then, what are you doing for the collective? What are you even doing for yourself at that point? I mean, there's only so much inner work you can do before you have to go out and experience this stuff. Wisdom is only gained through experience. When you learn something, the collective learns it as well, and especially your circle, the people that you surround yourself with, that energetic imprint, it affects them, it imprints them as well. So, I mean, we can go on and on about that, but I definitely think there's a purpose for all of it, and that's going to become more and more apparent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's been interesting because I pray a lot too during the day. I don't I don't know. I'm in the same neighborhood kind of where you are, Aaron, but it's just different. Like this, you see, like you said, the rainbow flags and everything I see now. I notice so much that Montessori schools now are flagging or having all their flags, and I'm like, I thought Montessori was like freedom from the matrix, but it's not. Everyone's
It's
being
kind of in the matrix now. Yeah.
well,
yeah.
I'm seeing rainbow flags on church. Like every church, almost every church around here has rainbow flags on
Mhm.
them, and like uh the police station, like everything. It's like on everything. It's like in your face everywhere. It's
And this is
insane.
the sad part because, like a few months ago, I was like, I want the rainbow back. Like they stole the rainbow.
Right. Well, right. Exactly. It's
And
like
then
they corrupted
it's
that symbol. They
it's the
corrupted.
chakra system, right? It's so sacred, but
It's light. Yeah.
yeah.
It's. I
So
mean, it represents that, and then it's like, oh, it means you're LGBTQ, blah blah blah. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's coming from an authentic place, but it's the agenda being pushed
yes,
using those people and pushing people that aren't authentically that. Instead of healing, they're grabbing onto that because it's like an identity to a lot of people instead of like actually finding themselves and actually healing. It's like, oh, here's this like I can be cool and different, and like even though it's not different because it's like now it's so many kids are it's like more kids are that than not now. Literally, it's
oh,
already at that point.
oh yeah,
They think
that's
it's
the
cool
scary
and
part. Like
fit in.
it's a trend, and that's
A
what this
trend.
happened is. Like my friend told me, oh, it's called trans-trender, and I was like, oh my God, genius! Like not transgender, it's trans-trender because like kids are now
Right.
declaring at 12 years old, and they're all
Or
like
younger. Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Right.
sad because like I know people that their children claimed when they were 12 that oh they're gay and like the whole school said it at 12. So I'm like something happened. This is not normal. Like I have gay friends that knew when they were young they were gay and they honored it. Not everyone has that authenticness. And if you do, great, good. Enjoy it. But this is not, this is a trend. This is
Right.
infiltration on their minds and their body and their soul. And this is
Right.
this is not the same. And that's when I get very angry because I'm like, I know when it's authentic, I feel it. Cause like if any of these girls that are saying they're gay at 12 actually meet a gay girl, they're going to be probably scared. Like they're
Right.
not going to feel comfortable in that energy because it's not a true authentic one. If that,
Exactly.
well, it's easy just to say things and not like it's easy to say I'm this or identify as this, but when you have to live it, like, are you really going to
right.
be able to do it? Ironically enough, when we scheduled this interview, I had no idea that this was Pride Month coming up. I just didn't know.
Now
Right.
we're really seeing it everywhere because it's Pride Month.
Right. But and then the timing of this interview, and I shared that meme with you today. And if you put Pride Month together, literally in the middle it says demon. And
So, yeah,
I'll share the image on the screen.
yeah,
Pride, DE, and then month, MON, when they're put together. It's right in the middle of Pride Month is demon. So it's they're always telling you without telling you. And it's just interesting that does seem to be the driving force behind the entire movement.
right. And again, like if you're authentically gay or you're authentically whatever, fantastic. But the problem is like I just see the agenda so clearly. I see the entity so clearly, like you were saying. I see the like this to be frank, satanic agenda being pushed using that. Not saying the thing in and of itself is, if you are authentically that, using that for this satanic agenda being pushed everywhere in every aspect of society, in every institution, shoved down everyone's throats, and then acting like they're also victims when it's like it's now swung the other way. So how that doesn't even add up, but it's almost pushing victim mentality and victimization as this like egregore of like people love being a victim, right? They're
It's
feeding
like
off of that
being
energy.
cool. It's like being a part
It's
of a
cool.
club or something. Yeah.
Right, right. But they're also feeding off the energy of, oh, I'm oppressed, I'm a victim, I'm society. But like all of society is now catering to that. So, but they still are caught up, and it's insane. It's like, but it's also, so to me, it's you have the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and it's an attack on both. So, because they're like, we have to attack both at the same time. Well, what's the best way to do that? Well, look at everything they're doing. That's what they're doing through using all of this stuff and pushing it. They're trying to get people to change their genders or just no gender to
And
erase all of that. They're trying to erase the divine masculine and feminine.
right. Divine, exactly. And eliminate the alpha male.
And eliminate the alpha
Because
male.
how do you take over a civilization? I mean, you wipe out all
Yeah.
the alpha males. You have no one left to stand up to the system, right? And this is something
Right.
as simple as going back to when I was in construction, working at a high school in a rich neighborhood. We noticed that the kids, the children, they all looked. I'm sorry to sound rude, but puny, I guess you could say. And one of the guys,
Scrawny. Yeah.
scrawny, yeah. And one of the guys made a comment one day. He's like, I've been watching these kids leave every day at the end of the day. And he goes, I don't think one of them kids could swing a hammer if they had to. And I was like, I laughed as I thought it was funny, but then I started observing it too. And then I realized that school didn't teach a shop class. And, so it's all systematic, right? And so they're not being encouraged. The alpha male template has been taken away. It's been pulled out from under them, and they're forced to do other things. So it's just another interesting take on it.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
And I mean,
Right.
I go to sporting events and for the young kids, and it's not, I remember like I'm older, but my generation, the kids that were alpha, they would be in the gym every day. They would have defined muscles, and they do look scrawny now. They look very feminine. And I know the hormones and all the food and all the
Vaccine, yeah, I can say now.
glyphosate water and Monsanto everywhere and everything. I know that can disturb the endocrine system. But this is on a whole level. This is planned, and it's even destroying the sacred feminine, because I watched this great interview of a beautiful athlete, female athlete that had to fight for a trans to not be in her, I think she was a swimmer, to not be allowed to compete. And I was like,
Right.
one, we're all the crazy, insane feminists saying, what's going on? What about all the alpha men saying don't ever let anyone near my daughter that's a trans or whatever, a man, because you're genetically a man. Don't go in the changing rooms with females. Like this is when I get into like this weird, I get very angry, but I also go into this whole, I it's an alpha female energy of like, don't you dare mess with also the sacred female, because it's like it's a mockery. You actually think you can make fun of us or try to compete with us when we're divinely separated for a reason. I understand that there have been a very small percentage of people that are born with, both male female anatomy, or they have they don't have,
born into the wrong body type of thing. Yeah.
right, or their bodies are expressing in a different way, and then there's hormonal energy that's not balanced, so that can cause them to feel different, or they express themselves and they don't feel male or female. I understand there's a very small percentage, but this is a joke. This is actually, it's a joke to the human race right now. It's a joke to all of us. I feel it's a mockery, and they're making fun of us, really. They're making females and the men, like they're true, authentic females and men.
Right. Well, you can see, I mean, 20 years ago, I mean, the percentage of people that were gay or trans or any of this stuff was like, 50 times less at least. And now, in just the last 15 to 20 years, it's gone that much higher. That alone tells me it's not natural, because something natural doesn't do that high of a jump. And it also just like naturally, the human race, you're going to see consistently. It's not like, you can go back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 5,000 years in time. You're still going to have a small percentage of homosexual and whatever, and the rest heterosexual.
Right.
And you're telling me in the last 20 years, it's just normal that it's jumped like times 100, like out of and kids 12 and under, or even like, you're telling me that's just natural and normal and there's nothing pushing that unnaturally? No, come on. It's obvious.
Well, we also, you got to get into monarch mind control. And what is monarch mind control? It affects you genetically at the DNA level, so your offspring also experience the same effects that you experience, right? So some of these people that are being born, that small percentage, might be also part of the agenda. Like it's literally monarch mind control. So
yeah, absolutely.
So, and I want to be clear about the alpha male thing. Like we're not saying that, you have to have big muscles to be an alpha male. Like that's not true at all. Like you can
like the ego aspect of it and all
right.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
like,
I mean, obviously that's just one way of looking at it. That's one perspective, but the alpha, it's an energy, right? It's a frequency that we carry. And, and there can be an alpha female as well. I mean, it's all energetic. It doesn't mean that you have to have big muscles and you have to be tall and, masculine. It
just means a healthy version, and like what a man should be, what a woman should be, and at the healthiest version of that. The most, it's like the most self-realized or close to that version of a man and a woman. It doesn't mean, like you said, it's like you could, big muscles or not necessarily, or whatever. It's like, are you healthy? Are you mature? Are you a protector? Are you
knowing? And it's knowing yourself too.
Knowing yourself.
Right. Which
is your highest priority. Do you live from your heart? It's that. Yeah. And that goes from male or female, and that's alpha male and alpha female, in my opinion.
Right. And again, like you said earlier, Aaron, like we're not trying to talk down on anybody who has made a decision or has, chosen, has transitioned or whatever. It reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right. That's what we should name this show. But
we're not gay.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But that's the one thing, like in Florida, in Miami, that was the one thing. And years ago when I worked in the nightclub, we had drag queens that would transition or in the process of transitioning, and they really honored themselves as they transitioned. They were proud of it. They were owning it in a different way. There was an energy of like, this is who I am. I feel comfortable expressing myself in this way. And that was just an energy you felt. You're like, yeah, great, enjoy. Like nobody from at least in the world I lived in, we all just honored them. We honored them because they
Mhm.
were expressing themselves in the closest way that they could feel in their highest form. And it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful because everyone just accepted it and they just were happy and it was not a weird thing, if that makes sense. I know it sounds maybe out there, but it wasn't weird.
No.
This is not authentic. This is not honoring. Except that one person that had a fake camel toe
Yeah.
constructed. I mean, I'm sorry to be so graphic. It was just shocking to me. This person was the only person that walked in the place and left happy and showing themselves off to the world.
Right.
That person felt authentic, honest to God. And that out of all the people I've experienced, that was the only one that I was I'm going to say, because I just was grossed out because I'm a female and I had to go through the whole image of how that happened. Like, how do you construct I went into too much detail in my brain because that's just how my brain works. Because I wanted to know how these doctors can actually mutilate a 6-year-old and try to transform a like I have to go deep into it to understand. And then I'm like, oh gosh, these people are harmed themselves. So then they're going to continue the harm. Like it's like the groomers. A lot of them were traumatized at a young age and harmed, and it's trauma on such a deep level. So then they continue to create the trauma because they haven't healed themselves.
Yep.
They are now doing it to the 5, 6, 7-year-old, right? So it's that process. So you know how the healing works. So anyway, my brain had to go into this whole thing of how this created this. But
hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
And
No,
until someone breaks that cycle, they pass it down, like you said. That's how it works until someone takes responsibility for their own healing.
Yeah.
And or seeks help or heals and breaks that cycle until someone does that, it just gets passed down generation to generation. And actually, so like the brain of a psychopath is actually damaged, and this is tons of scientific proof of this. And that happens usually through their childhood trauma. So when a child gets traumatized to a certain degree, it starts damaging their brain, and it literally is turning them into a future psychopath and sociopath and extreme narcissist and all of that stuff. And then and then
somehow those are the people that run the world.
Those are the people that, right. Well, naturally, those people are going to be drawn into, along with the bloodline families,
Yes.
and on top of that, those people are drawn to those types of positions anyway. And
they have the audacity.
The system seeks out those people actually, and like literally they'll like, and this is actually also insiders talk about this, or like they literally will screen, be like, oh, for psychopaths to put in certain positions, and they will only accept someone who is a psychopath,
right,
or a sociopath.
Yeah, like your CIA screening process. They want to see if you have sociopathic tendencies, and
that's real. And remember Mason Fury, who we just had on.
Yeah,
he got literally kicked out of I forget which intelligence agency he was in. Was it like DOD or something?
Yeah.
Because he was a good person and he had empathy basically, and like wouldn't go along with her shenanigans. They're like, nope, don't want you, get out of here. Like we only want these types of people that are going to play along.
So I want to shift gears just a little bit, Leah. This is going back to, you mentioned earlier doing ayahuasca, and I think we talked about it last time, but you had done multiple trips with a shaman, right? And then you realized something actually nefarious was happening. And I only want to bring this up because I think it's incredibly crucial that everyone understands that this is going on and this is possible. And I'll let you explain what you experienced.
Yeah. So I didn't fully honor my gifts growing up because I ran from them, because I didn't know how to deal with them. I didn't know how to tell people I see your aura, all different colors around your aura. I just didn't know how to say, oh, I see a spirit around you. So anyway, I ran from it most of my life and sabotaged and, drank way too much and did all that. So I got to that self-loathing place, and ironically, my mom was suffering from migraines, and she said, I really think ayahuasca can help me. So, and I said, because I get very protective, and I said, well, let me research and let me do it first to make sure it's safe for you, and I'll find someone. So I kind of asked some of my really close friends who we could talk about all this stuff, and they were open. And so one said, I have this great female shaman, and I've worked with her many times, and he had done other trips with different shamans. And in Florida, South Florida, probably everywhere, there are just these weird groups where you could do like 100 people at a time of a session and outside. And I felt it was more of an entertainment, amusement type thing. And so I was trying to heal energetically, but I was trying to make sure it was safe for my mom. So I went to this person, and it ended up being at this woman's home who is a shaman, and it was a male that also gave us the medicine. And so they both kind of protected the space, but he did most of the work, but she was there. And so from the minute I started my journey, I was like, whoa, this is like, I went to many dark places. And of course, I died a million times, multiple times over and over. But I could see there was something weird with this woman. And I had seen too, just in my own journey, like lots of slavery energy. And I was trapped in her slavery system and all that. And so I was like, I don't know, like I trusted my friend that suggested this, but I was kind of just skeptical. But anyway, I said, well, it's safe for my mom. So I brought my mom, and then I brought my other friend, and my other friend was sensitive like me, and he saw straight through her, but he was like, she's just using this to make money. And I said, do you really think so? Because I said, I'm really grateful she opened her home and all this. So I was always on the edge of like, let me try to find the best in someone. Long story short, with the session with your friend, Laura, this energy showed up again. And she had told me something that made me it broke my heart. And it basically said I harmed a lot, millions of souls and all this stuff. And I was like, oh gosh. And she said, you have to keep coming back to cleanse. And so I was like, well, I'm trying to clear my ancestry. I'm trying to clear my family lineage. I'm trying to clear my karma. I don't want to come back to this earth again. Let me do as much work. So that's why I dove super deep, but I kept getting this dark energy. And she kept placing me next to people that had done really, like they were murderers. And because I could see people's journey next to me or throughout the whole group. Because sometimes there was only a few of us, like 5 or 6, and we were outside in her backyard. And then sometimes there were about 20, but I didn't want to see people's journey. But unfortunately, because I was so sensitive, I could, and I didn't know how to block it. So ironically, she would always put me next to like one of the darkest souls of the group. Well, let's say not darkest souls, the soul that had done a lot of darkness in this lifetime, let's say, because we all have dark and light, right?
You're talking about this shaman lady, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And she would because I would try to go towards let's say, people that were like healers and like trying to do good in this life. And she would put me right next to the one that murdered 3 people. And so I would take this stuff home. And anyway, I told my friend that was sensitive what she had said to me. And he's like, Leah, you wouldn't be doing this work if you did what she said. And I was just heartbroken. And ironically, I found out from this girl that is a doctor in this life who is a healer. She said this shaman lady said the same thing to this woman, and it made her keep coming back. So it was like this really sad, heartbroken energy of, oh God, I did so much wrong in previous lifetimes. I have to heal. So we would keep coming back. And a friend that was helping me learn past life regression and stuff, and attuned me with like Reiki and all this other stuff. She called me out of the blue, and I hadn't spoken to her in about 10 years. And she said, Leah, I don't like what you're doing. This is you're not doing, these aren't good people. It's like, they know you're sensitive and they're allowing you to take all the energy home with you. And that's not right. And when I worked with Laura, this showed up again. And ironically, she said, whoa, she's like, that was a spiritual harm that they were doing to people. They were spiritually harming them because they were using them and trying to take advantage. And so that's when I just realized too, because I just intuitively said, I don't want to do this anymore. And my friend, thankfully, would just have the male shaman do private sessions with just me and my friend and my mom. And so it was a private setting. So I didn't have to go to this woman's home. But ironically, that showed up in a healing session I did recently with Laura. And it was just sad because it was a manipulation. It was just sad because people prey on kind-hearted people that are, I mean, I'm trying to do work here and I'm trying to do the best I can. I know I am not perfect and I know we all have dark and light, including myself, but it was just heartbreaking that it took me years to clear like that energy that I collected at these places. And I still have to clear it because I just cleared it the other day. So
Well,
it's
I think for one, it's an incredible story actually, because you learn so much. Like all the darkness, excuse me, all the darkness that I've experienced, like it can seem horrible, but when I look back on it, I'm like, man, it taught me this, this, and this. And I wouldn't be nearly where I am today if I didn't go through that. And now I understand this at such a greater level. But let me summarize what's happening here. So you were seeing a shaman who was making sure that their clients were returning home with attachments so they can ensure a return client, basically. And they would tell you, they basically knew they were sending you home with something dark, and then they were telling you that they knew how to, they had the secret ingredient to help you get rid of it, so then they bring you back, right?
yes. And they would insult you to the point of like to me it was almost like literally comparing me to Hitler, which again, we all have
Whoa.
Christ and we all have Hitler, right? If we're all part of the collective consciousness. But it was of that extent where I was like heartbroken because it was involved a lot of animals. And I was just like, I couldn't, my brain, in this lifetime, I really enjoy animals like energy more than humans a lot of time because they're gentler energy for me, like to feel. And anyway, I'm not saying like humans are bad. It's just sometimes it's heavy for me to experience a human that's not doing a lot of spiritual work or just not light or like it's
Right.
just
Depends on the person. Depends on the person.
Right.
yeah,
A lot of people, yeah.
right. Like if someone has 10 entities and they're not trying to do anything or whatever, it's like I really want to throw up. Like it's just how it works for me.
Right. Well, I think it's important to understand for our audience, anyone listening to this, that these types of things can happen. So whenever you're just randomly booking a session with somebody, just, proceed with caution. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And especially when these healers reach out to you and they initiate the healing and tell you that you need a healing, then that's definitely a red flag.
Red flag, yeah, in my book.
Right.
Try to vet them if you haven't. Really, you only want to do somebody you trust and you already know to a certain degree, and that you can feel their energy. And but if you haven't, then try to vet them and feel into their energy and before, because it's really dangerous to just some random person just because they offer you a session. Just oh yeah, sure. Because unfortunately, I don't think that's that uncommon of a thing that you went through with that. I think there's a lot of people with entity attachments themselves that are just plain don't know what they're doing, or all kinds of shenanigans going on out there with stuff that you really got to be careful about.
Well, I mean, for me, it goes down to I just can't even go get a massage or anything or energy work from a random person, because I have to, like, I'll go in and I'll clear the room and I'll clear the person and I'll clear all the energy that they picked up because they don't clear sometimes people don't clear their energy of the
Right.
before. And if they have no clue what they're doing, like for me, I'm like, I just cleared 100 of your clients because you're not,
Right.
it's just it's just heavy for me. And so that's why I'm like, I'm exhausted before I even
Right.
exhausted. I leave more more tired, or I'm like, I just really wanted to relax and like try to sleep or try to meditate. But
I
again,
had to clean up after you instead, and now I'm exhausted.
well, and
Right.
that's the thing. Like I worked with people that like literally they said they were energy workers and they wouldn't clear. It was just some of them wouldn't even wash their hands after. Yeah, like even
Right.
massaging. Like people, that's when I realized, oh God, people are just. Ugh. And anyways, it just is on a whole other level. Just I would say use your intuition and just because I used to be one of those when I was younger because I was searching. I would go to psychics, I would go to mediums, I would go to clairvoyants, I would do anything and everything just to learn. And that's when I also learned, whoa, you can't I don't like to mess with people that don't protect themselves in love and light, or they don't protect, they don't go in the highest realms. Like that's when you can, I mean, just 'cause too, I saw it, like people would participate in channeling anyone. Like they could channel anyone and anything. And it's like,
Right.
whoa, that's when I've seen people morph when they try to channel. And I'm like, whoa, you didn't even put a protection around you. Like you're just morphing into who knows what. I don't even know. I don't even want to know.
Right.
And there's
Yeah.
lots of trickster entities that play off people's egos, and people think a lot of times genuinely believe they're channeling something good or something specific, and it's not. It's a trickster entity that's playing that person.
And the thing about that, Aaron, is that an empath can feel immediately if that person's channeling something positive or negative, whether or not it's coming across as a being of the light, right?
Right. Right.
We can feel like something's off there, and it's very sad when you see other people falling for it, because it happens a lot, especially in this
Yeah.
community with a lot of big names, and we just have to keep our mouth shut because there's a lesson in it for everybody.
Right.
And so has anybody ever come to you? You know how the shaman was telling you that you've done all these horrible things in the past life, and you had to heal this and keep coming back. Has anybody come to you and booked a session with you with a similar experience? Like, oh, so and so told me that I've done all these horrible things and I'm just beating myself up about it. Can you look into my records and see if this is true? Does that ever occur?
Yeah, I mean, that's happened a few times where because I protect the frequency in a prayer before we even begin, and that prayer only allows us in the love and light frequency. So like for me, that's the highest vibrational messages that come through. Oh gosh, their guides have to do a lot of cleanup, because I call them like guides, their loved ones, like the Akashic realm. They have to clean up a lot of those lower frequencies or those words. I see them, to me, energetically. Sometimes they show up as energetic weeds that I feel weed plants are some of the most beautiful healing plants, because weeds are amazing, right? Dandelion and all that. But this is a different type of weed. This is a
It's
low
like a
frequency.
vine.
Yeah. And it intertwines and it can so we have to clear those. And sometimes they can show up as dark little, I know it sounds so weird, but dark little parasite energies that we have to clear. Like it's a team effort. I'm calling in all the guides, I'm calling in archangels, and we're clearing, because these little, I guess they just, to me, sometimes they just look like dark, low frequency energies. They can hide in different areas. Some energy, like they can hide in the spine, which is fascinating. So we have to because I try to do a whole body scan and see what we need to do with the body to try to get it high vibes. So a lot of times with those people that have had those energies, or hexes or curses, we have to go deep into their energy and the different layers of their aura to find where these energies are hiding, and we have to clear them because they can be in intricate little areas that it's like a thought that just shows up and it's not theirs, but someone planted it there. Or and I mean that's also, children can have that from, people what they were raised with, but it's also people like energy workers too, or the TV, low vibe, and movies can also have implants of low frequency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Music. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I guess more specifically, I should ask: has somebody come to you with they said, "Hey, I had a session with somebody, and they told me that I was this and this in a past life or in a parallel life," and then the records show that that wasn't true?
Yeah. That shows up. So that's a tricky one because I have to always ask how to share information because I'm just sharing what's being shown. So usually people's guides will try to replace the energy with, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, like you were Cleopatra, in a past life. And I'll just sometimes say, oh, I'm sorry, they're not showing that, but they are showing this. So like, a lot of ego energy can show up like, well, I was, King Tut or something. So it's just interesting because like that stuff I always ask, and then I'm like, well, actually, I'm not being shown that, but they're showing this. So like, I just say, I'm not seeing it. Like if it's something that might harm their ego that they can't psychologically handle, but if it's something like that's very harmful to them, that oh gosh, they just showed I was a psychopath in like the latest life I just lived, and I harmed 50 people, and they're buried somewhere, uh, and oh gosh, like stuff like that. It's like, I'm not seeing that. Like, let's see where they came from with that. Like, I'll be honest if I see it or not. I'll just say, I'm sorry, or I'll say, actually, they'll usually people's records will kind of share with me what I'm allowed, and they do it in a delicate way where it's not going to psychologically cause them to have a meltdown in a way, or let's say because I see it too as like a dimensional shift or paradigm shift. The only people that I've had really, really, really hard sessions with are people who are suicidal.
Hmm.
They are delicate and they are angry, some of them, and they want to be combative to what their guides say. And that's when a few times I've actually had to be like a straight shooter and say whatever I'm being told to say. Because again, like it's kind of showing up for me. So I'm just kind of reading what's being said, or kind of just saying, well, they're showing this, and this. That's what they're showing. Take what you want. But I've had a few times when people were really, they weren't, I don't know if it was being reprimanded, but they were being almost told like, you're not respecting your life. So why are you here? Like basically like you're on the fence. You want to play with this and you're not respecting your life. Okay. And they kind of lashed out at them in a way where I was like in shock. Cause that's when I'm like, whoa, I've only listened to one session before that I recorded because it's not mine to listen to. But one was suicidal, and I said, whoa. And I questioned ever reading again after this person because they were angry and they were bitter and they were angry that they were alive. And their guides kind of gave them, oh, okay, you think it's going to be fine just, leaving right now and doing something to harm yourself? Oh, okay. And then they kind of just, I don't know. To me, it felt
Tough
like
love, a little bit of tough love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes people, they need that.
Holy shamoly, I didn't know because I don't normally talk like that. I'm normally like, whoa, and their guides reamed them. And that I closed the records and then I listened to it the next morning because I wanted to make sure, whoa, am I allowed to continue? Because I wanted to make sure I was allowed to keep reading for people because it was that harmful for me. Because I normally don't give a lashing.
Yeah.
And I listened and I said, oh gosh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Because I thought, oh my God, is this person going to off themselves? Like I was that scared.
Oh, wow.
And it was a gift from a friend that this person was gifted the session by a friend who was worried. And I reached out to the friend and I said, is your friend okay? I stopped the session because one, the person was was a taker in terms of was insatiable energy, couldn't get enough. And they just kept asking for more and more and more. So it ended up being like 45 minutes longer than it should have. And I was trying to be careful and I just said, the session's done. And I hung up. And I never done that before.
That's one way
And
to do it.
what's that?
That's a way to do it.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
session's
God.
done.
Yeah. And because they're like, you don't want to listen anymore. So you're not listening. And so this is done.
Yeah.
And I hung up. And I was like, whoa. And then the next day, the friend that gifted this person the session reached out and said, my friend is so grateful. That was the best session she's ever had. And meanwhile, I was worried all night that she was going to off herself. And I was worried that I could ever read again because I couldn't, I just didn't, that's not why I do this work,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, though, that's another lesson for you. There's something in this type of work for both parties, always, I think. Yeah. And it's interesting, you said like people having past lives of Cleopatra, King Tut, like that happens a lot. People think they're these
Millions of people think they're all the same.
Yeah. Well,
Bad.
I'm reading a book right now about it's an amazing book about one of the truest extraterrestrial contact stories I've ever read, and we're going to be interviewing the author soon. But this man is interacting with this race of ETs, and she describes to him that they collectively all have the same memories, so that it's how they it's like part of their blueprint. It's how the knowledge is passed down, so it's not forgotten, so it's not lost, and that memory only shows up when and if you need it in a certain life experience. So sometimes you'll be somewhere and you'll have, oh my God, I've been here before, or you think that you've had a past life as Cleopatra or King Tut, but no, the collective is actually implanted with that memory, and you're just tapping into it in that moment because there's something in that you need to learn from that experience. It's not even your memory. So I think that happens with humans too. I don't think it's just this ET, but they explain it more in depth in the book. But I was like, oh my God, that's what happens here.
And
So
people mistake that for, oh, I was that person in a past life, when in fact it's actually that. Actually, Dolores Cannon, what came through her information was that a lot of starseeds, a lot of souls, that it's their first time incarnating on Earth, since it's such a dense vibration, and they're not, if they just came in straight, it would be too hard. So what they do is they get an imprint and of like different past lives, or different people like that. They get an imprint of that, and that helps with their incarnation on Earth. And then it seems like they had that past life, but it's actually just an imprint that they
right.
received.
It
So
just
kind of goes along with what you just said.
Exactly. It helps ease them into the Earth's energies. But in this case with the ET race, it was something, it was more for not losing the knowledge. That's how the true knowledge is stored, and it's collectively available, kind of like the Akashic records, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not certain, if you're not sure, you could mistake it for your own memory. is,
Well, that makes sense because in the Akashic realm, from what I've seen, again, this is just bits and pieces from whatever I remember, but like some people in certain areas of like the earth, they can energetically pick up on like what was there before. So like as an empath, let's say if I walk through the woods, I could maybe feel, I don't know, like the um founding fathers running through, New England and saying the redcoats are here or something. But like there's an imprint in the land. So that's what I found out too, because someone was trying to ask about finding information like below a house that was like they were asking about like kind of like secret buried treasures, and like it showed up in their records that they could actually meditate over the land, and actually it was just fascinating because there was an imprint on the land and they were sensitive enough to pick it up. And so I'm realizing, oh gosh, the land holds so much sacred wisdom. If we get to that frequency, we can collect it and pick it up. But it's like, I guess it's just maybe if you're allowed to vibrate at that same frequency and get the information. Because I do feel the shaman, like let's say the medicine people of like the ancient tribes or even current tribes that are still kind of off grid, they can still collectively ask, am I allowed to cook this plant for 4 days and then add this berry to it for it to be medicine? Like, or how can I heal this person's sickness? They'll get the information from the plants. They can talk to the plants.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much that we just don't understand, and we can all haphazardly jump into this type of stuff, and it's exciting, and we all do it. We're all young and naive at some point. We all fall for something. We take the bait somewhere along the line, and then we fall hard sometimes, and then we have to get up, pick ourselves back up, but there's a lesson in it. And a lot of times, like you said, sometimes we choose that experience from a higher perspective. We don't, maybe our higher self chooses that experience for our soul's evolution, right? We don't always know, but there's always a reason for it. So don't beat yourself up, even if you do experience something negative. So I think this has been a beautiful conversation today. And thank you for coming and being brave and sharing everything that you've shared with us, because I know a lot of it's not easy to share. So is there any last words you'd like to leave us with before we wrap this up?
Well, no, because I mean, part of me was like, oh gosh, am I going to share too much or share stuff? And I realized, maybe these souls have to go down this path and experience like the depth of what they're experiencing. And I guess to me, all I can do is kind of pray for them, or pray and just see where this is going to take us as a collective. From what I've heard and what my friends that do like hypnotherapy and have experiences with people that have thought they were from Atlantis and all that, they, supposedly we've been here before. Supposedly we've already done this before. So I don't know. I guess all I can do is just say maybe keep your frequency high so that the frequency does help. I have noticed the ripple effect where people can just keep themselves in a high space and then it will ripple effect. And I guess what my friend has told me, because part of me wants to go and give these people hugs and tell them they are valuable, and they can be loved. They if they can find love within them, maybe they can love themselves, so they don't have to go down that path. But again, like I have to be the observer, and I have to honor people with their free will, even though I do feel it's been kind of tapped and stolen by entities. I just guess I can say, like, let's just keep our frequency high, because that will ripple effect. I do feel when you try to keep your frequency the highest it can be, it might have a nice, kind, gentle effect on someone that might need a little extra support, or may need to say, gosh, you're okay just as you are. You were given this body as a gift from God and from the Creator. And I hope you can find it to be sacred. because that's the one thing I did, because I battle with this every day, because I want to know, like, am I too harsh? Am I not honoring people? Am I not doing my work? But then I realized, we're given this as who we are. I do feel as our karmic lessons. We're given, our unique eyes, our unique lips, our unique fingerprints, from God to go through our journey to learn our life lessons. And so that's why I find, okay, I have to honor who I am in order to learn my lessons and be authentically me. And if these people are not learning their own life lessons or not honoring what was given to them by God, like what consequences are those going to be for them down the road? Those are the questions I ask, because I don't know. I mean, this is their journey. I just wanted to, I don't know. I just find if we can kind of send love, maybe that will help. I don't know. I just feel bad because I don't feel a lot of them are loving themselves and loving what God gave them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think finding love or sending love is a beautiful, beautiful advice.
And showing these people love and whatever interactions you naturally have, because a lot of times these people, they just haven't received much love in their life, and they have all this trauma and they're very unhealed. So it's like, we gotta remember, love is the most powerful force in the universe, right? It's so much more powerful than any of this dark stuff. So like, if you can show them love in whatever way, that doesn't mean like you want to hang around these types of people all the time or any of that stuff, but and like your job, for example, you're a lot of times working with these types of people, and it's like, just show them love in whatever way you can, and send them love and energy as well, and pray for them in whatever way.
And acceptance, help them feel accepted, because I think sometimes that's just what people want, more than love, not more than love, but like they want to feel accepted and they don't feel accepted. So they feel like they have to lash out and make this bold decision, make a bold move and do something that they might regret, that they probably will regret much later down the road, or maybe sooner than we realize. So
I would put acceptance in the umbrella of love. That's a manifestation of love, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And get them to question these certain thoughts and certain programs in like the most non-confrontational ways a lot of times, because people get very defensive, obviously. But like, that's what I like to do as well.
I think you're right, because then they claim it more. Like they dig deeper into it when they don't even. It's like, do you even know what you're doing? Like, do you really know what you're doing? Because like, if you do, then okay. But if you don't, and you're going to dig deep just because you want to rebel or feel like claim something because you don't know what is going on, or you don't know who you are yet, or give yourself time. And that was the thing, Tyler, I guess I wondered too, because the other day when I was feeling bad one day with one person, that I was just sad for him, because he was the one that couldn't decide. And I was like, am I feeling sad? Is his entity making me fall for this stuff? Because like my heart was broken, because I just thought, no matter what, it looks like he felt lost. I just didn't feel like he owned it. Like he didn't, like, there's a difference. But I guess like I was like, oh no, Tyler, like am I falling? Is the entity trying to make me feel bad for the entity? Because like that was another question.
Well, and that's something that you should consider, because I think that, it's the typical narcissist empath relationship. And what does the narcissist do? They prey on your ability to see the good in everyone. So they know that you're going to care and you're always going to want to help, but it's never going to be reciprocated, right? So it's just going to be constantly like loosh harvesting. They're going to be feeding off of you whenever you're giving it all your love and energy. That's a fuel source, and I'm not saying that that's happening with every client, right? But it is something to consider, and at some point we all have to draw the line, because we've all had those people in our lives, and you can only do so much before it's like, okay, I just can't help you anymore,
Yeah,
but in your case, in your case, it's a little different. It's not like these people are just coming in the door and out the door. So you're feeling like their souls, bless you.
Thank you.
You're feeling the pain of their soul. You're feeling like sad for them. And I think it's different than having a narcissist in your life permanently that you have to break bonds with anyway. So it is just something to consider. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this has been incredible. Thank you so much for sharing everything you've shared with us today. And can you please let our audience know where they can find you and how they can book a session?
Yes. Thank you so much. So I just have people book time slots and then we just discuss what's needed because like the Akashic realm is amazing and there's so much that can be found there. But I always like to touch base with what people need because I can also tap into the energy fields. And sometimes we need to realign chakras. Sometimes we need to clear stuff that's no longer serving people. So there's a lot that can be done during the session. So that's why I just have it done by time slots. And they can find me at Leah Ray Light, LeahRayLight.com. And that's where I have my website. And they can just kind of land there and see what works for them.
Great. Well, that link will be in the description. And again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight. We love you all. We can't do this without you. And just a quick reminder, if you did miss the conference, the replay is available at rebelsofdisclosure.com or on our website, journeytotruth.online. And the replay is only $88. It includes the entire conference. And the link is live for 6 months, maybe even permanently. If you just want to like bootleg it, we don't care. Just enjoy it. And also if you're interested in joining our Patreon, it's only $5 a month, and where we do our exclusive webinars. And we just released a Illuminati in the music industry webinar publicly, which is now on our Rumble. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It was definitely an interesting deep dive. We got into some really wild stuff, and it goes a lot deeper than most people realize. So, and if you want to sign up for our new monthly newsletter, you can join our email list on our website. And yeah, I think that's it. Aaron, anything else?
No.
Oh yeah, your book.
Aaron, yeah, my book.
Plug your book. Might as well plug your book one last time.
Yeah. So thank you all, by the way, for everyone who's bought my book. It means the world to me, and I truly appreciate it. And for everyone who's left a beautiful review. For those of you who, if you have read it and you haven't left a review, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on Amazon. It just really helps out a lot. But for those of you who haven't, my book's available on Amazon. It's called Waking to the Infinite Universe. I released it a little over a month ago, and it's the first book I've ever released. And
it's really good. Go buy it.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm truly blown away by all the love and support I've received from it. So thank you all so much. And
and with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Good night, everybody. We love you all. And until next time, have a great evening.
What happens when water is exposed to EMF, or wireless radiation? Here's something you may not know. Water is conscious, and it responds vibrationally to whatever it is exposed to. At Omnia, we've done an experiment where we froze and photographed 3 samples of water. Water which was not exposed to EMF radiation, the baseline, looked like this. Water which was exposed to an EMF field, a 5G radiation field in fact, looked like this. And water which was exposed to EMF that is balanced by the Omnia radiation balancer looked like this. See the difference? Remember, your body is 70% water. And here's a special offer for the Journey to Truth crowd. Just enter the word TRUTH in caps at the checkout for your 10% discount.